lecture series on operational amplifier. Myself Dr. Dharmesh Kumar Srivastava. Today I shall discuss about the operational amplifiers. So what is an amplifier and why it is called so? It is basically used to perform the mathematical operations such as differentiation, integration, addition and subtraction, etc. Whereas it can also be used to amplify the heartbeat in medical cardiograph, as well as they are also used as comparators in the heating systems. So by the definition, it is a direct coupled high gain differential amplifier consisting of one or more differential amplifiers followed by the level shifter and the output stage. This is a simplified block diagram of the op amp. It consists of 4 stages: input stage, intermediate stage, level shifter and the output stage. The detailed explanation of these stages will be in the next slides. So here is the detailed explanation of these slides of these blocks. Number 1 is the input stage. It is a dual input balanced output differential amplifier. It increases the common mode rejection ratio. It also adjusts the high gain, as well as it provides the high input impedance. Next is the intermediate stage. It is a dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier. It is driven by the output of first stage, whereas it also adjusts the half gain of the first stage, and the error voltage is also cancelled in this stage. Now the third is the level shifter. It is an emitter follower. The emitter follower consists of a current amplifier. It suppresses the DC voltages to the ground level. The last stage is the output stage, that is the push-pull amplifier. It increases the output voltage swing and the current in supplying capabilities of the amplifier, whereas it also provides the low output impedance. This is the pin diagram and the symbol of the op amp. The op amp is available in the form of IC number 741, and this is a simplified pin diagram of those pins. Number 1 and number 5 are the offset null. Number 2 and number 3 are used for inverting and the non-inverting configuration. Number 4 is for the minus VEE supply, whereas number 6 is for the output. Number 7 is for plus VCC supply, and number 8 is not connected. The circuit symbol for the IC741 is here given detail. Now this is the packaging type of op amp IC741. It is available in the numerous packages, that is in the 8-pin DIP package, as well as the 14-pin DIP package and the 8-pin metallic lead package. Now this is the equivalent circuit of an op amp. It consists of an input impedance Zin, whereas an output impedance Z0. The differential input voltage applied at the two terminals V1 and V2, those are applied at the inverting and the non-inverting terminals, as you can see. And the gain of an op amp is A, so the output voltage of an op amp is A into V1 minus V2, as you can see clearly. Next, now we comes to the voltage transfer curve of an op amp. This is the voltage transfer curve of an op amp for ideal as well as for practical. For the ideal op amp, this is the curve of the voltage transfer curve, and this is for the practical voltage transfer curve. For ideal values, it has two values, plus V saturation and minus V saturation, whereas for practical values, this differential input voltage varies from positive as well as for the negative direction. Now we comes to the mode of operation. The op amp is operated in two modes, that is open loop and closed loop mode. Sorry. In open loop mode, what is an open loop? When there is no connection between the output and any of the input terminal, that is known as the open loop mode. In open loop mode, the output voltage is given by A into V2 minus V1 or A into V1 minus V2, where A is the open loop gain and V1 and V2 are the voltage at the inverting and non-inverting terminals. Now we comes to the closed loop configuration or closed loop mode. This is the mostly used mode for designing and for analyzing any circuit. In this mode, the op-amp is connected to any of the input terminal, and that is known as the closed loop mode or closed loop configuration. So this is the closed loop configuration. It has of two types, inverting and non-inverting. In inverting configuration, the input voltage is applied to the inverting terminal, negative terminal, whereas the positive terminal of the op-amp is grounded, whereas in the non-inverting terminal, the negative terminal, that is the inverting terminal, is grounded, whereas the input is applied to the non-inverting terminal. Now, before analyzing the other circuits, we should know first what is the virtual ground, because this is the concept that is used exclusively for the analysis, and it makes the analysis very simple. As the name indicates, it is a virtual ground, means it is not really connected to ground, but it only fulfills the condition of the ground. In the analysis of the op-amp, the virtual ground means the voltage at that particular point is equal to 0 volt. So why we need the virtual ground? This makes the analysis very simple, especially when the negative feedback is employed. Now we comes to the analysis of the virtual ground. As you can see, the op-amp is used in the open loop mode. So in the open loop mode, you see that V1 and V2 are the applied input terminals. A is the gain of the op-amp and V0 is the output. So from the analysis of the open loop mode, we know that V0 is equal to A into V1 minus V2, where A, that is the open loop voltage gain, and its value is infinite if we consider it as ideal op-amp. Then from the equation, above equation, V1 minus V2 is equal to V0 upon A, and the value of A is infinite. Therefore, V1 minus V2 becomes equals to 0, which implies that V1 is equal to V2. Means whatever be the voltage of V2 will be the voltage of V1. So we can say that whatever be the voltage at the non-inverting terminal will be the voltage of the inverting terminal. And this concept is used in the analysis. Now this is the comparison of virtual ground versus real ground. So virtual ground, in the virtual ground only the concept of ground is utilized, whereas in the real ground there is a physical connection of that point to the ground. The voltage at the virtual ground is approximately 0, whereas in the real ground the voltage is 0. The virtual ground is not able to sink infinite current, whereas the real ground is able to sink infinite current. Virtual ground is not electrically connected to the ground, whereas the real ground is connected electrically to the ground. Now this is the very important point, that is the ideal characteristics of an op-amp. Here some parameters of op-amp is mentioned with the ideal and the practical values for op-amp IC741. The voltage gain, its ideal value is infinite, whereas its practical value for the IC741 is ranging from 10 to the power 5 to 10 to the power 8. Whereas the input resistance of an ideal op-amp is infinite, where its practical value is ranging from 10 to the power 6 to 10 to the power 12. The output resistance of an ideal op-amp is 0, and practically it has a value of approximately 75 ohm. The bandwidth is also very infinite for ideal, whereas practically it has very high value. The common mode rejection ratio is ideally infinite, whereas practically it is approximately 90 dB. The slew rate is also infinite, and for practically for IC741 it ranges from 0.5 to 90 volts per microsecond. The offset voltage is 0, whereas practically for the IC741 it ranges from 10 microvolt to 7 millivolt. So these are the some parameters of IC741 op-amp has been compared for ideal as well as the practical value. So this is all about the simplified description of the op-amp.